Hello and welcome to my TED Talk. This is going to be an educational video teaching you guys a little bit about the market, what's going on, how we got here, where we might be heading in the future. If you're looking for an entertaining dancing realtor video, this is not it. But if you're looking to learn something, this is the video for you. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dennis Sepulveda. I am a real estate agent servicing all of Greater Vancouver. So if you ever have any questions about selling or buying real estate in Greater Vancouver, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm always happy to chat. And today what we're going to do is talk about sort of where we are and how we got here, what sort of macro and microeconomic forces got us here, and then where we might be heading in the future. So we're halfway through the year. Let's dive right into it. I'm going to share this graph with you guys here. This is from the Stats Center. So this is from the Greater Vancouver Realtors. And this is the home price index of all property types. So all property types across all of Metro Vancouver, going back all the way to January 2023. So as you can see, we had a bit of a rise here, then we were sort of going this helicopter sideways thing. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that April 2025 was a big change for Vancouver real estate. This is where Trump announced his Liberation Day, also known as the trade war. And then we saw a pretty steady decline in prices all down 2025. And then here's January 2026, and we kind of went sideways / down as well. And we saw a pretty big dip here in July. I'm calling that the FIFA freeze. That's where everyone was out enjoying themselves watching FIFA. Completely normal and natural, and I had an amazing time as well. But real estate really slowed down because people were out and about enjoying themselves. So that's the FIFA freeze right there. What's going to happen next month? I think we're going to kind of notch back up here, but time will tell. So the real question is sort of what happened here in March, other than the trade war. We know that happened, but it's not as simple as just saying, this was all Trump's fault and that's why prices have dropped so dramatically in Vancouver. There's a lot of factors at play. So let's talk about a few of them. The big ones here are economic uncertainty. That is the trade war. That is a big one. People are worried about that, but it's also AI. It's also wars going on around the world, job insecurity. There's all kinds of factors at play which make people worried about if they're going to have a job and whether or not they want to actually move right now. So that's a big one. There's also really high inventory right now. So high inventory is playing a big factor. So we actually haven't seen inventory this high since 2015. So over a decade since we've seen inventory this high. And that plays a huge factor because, as you can imagine, if you see your neighbor's house that's been on the market for 6 months or more, and then you have to sell, well, you're going to price yours lower than that. And then they're probably going to have to drop their price and so on and so forth. So it becomes this kind of race to the bottom. So that's a big factor as well. So we can't just look at external forces. We also have to look within Canada to see what Canada is doing to bring prices down as well. If you've been watching the news or on social media, you know that housing has been a huge hot button issue for Canada. So they put all kinds of rules in place to try to bring housing costs down. Number one, interest rates. Interest rates are still high. They're not as high as they once were, but they're nowhere near that 1% and 2% level that they were during the pandemic. We also have the mortgage stress test, which has been in place for a while. That's a 2% bump on your qualification, which takes away a lot of buying power as well and takes away a lot of buyers from the entry-level market. We also have the BC short-term rental rule, which is also known as the anti-Airbnb law, which says you can't Airbnb unless it's your primary residence. So that took a lot of investors out of the market. BC speculation and vacancy tax is another one. And by the way, this list is nowhere near exhaustive. There's a lot of other things. I'm just focusing on the top. BC spec tax, and then lumped in with that, we also have the underused housing tax and the Vancouver vacancy bylaw. So it's really hard to buy and hold a property right now if you're not going to be using that. So people are basically being forced to sell versus hold it because you're going to get hit with so many taxes. And then there's the federal buyer ban as well, the federal foreign buyer ban, which is a big one as well. So that's basically saying if you're not a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen, you can't buy property. So that's taking a lot of outside investors out of here as well. So all those things kind of merge together and make this giant sort of soup or mosaic or whatever you want to call it to help that are causing prices to come down. Let's take a look at inventory. I'm going to share this graph here as well. So this is the from starting January 2026. This is the 10-year seasonal average here at the top. And each one of these bars represents how far down below the 10-year seasonal average we are. So I hope you can read this. It's a little bit, that shows the wrong colors here, but we've got 30% down, 28% below, 31% below, 22% below, 26% below, 12% below, 13% below. So as you can see, we're well below the 10-year average, but there is this trend line here going upwards. So even though we're well below the 10-year average, we are trending upwards, which is really nice to see. We're kind of getting back to a average or normal direction, which is nice. So here's another graph we should look at. This is home sales by month in 2026, and I have included the trend line there. So, home sales have been steadily climbing. We were at 1,100, and then we peaked here at 2,390, and then we did see a drop in July because of the FIFA freeze. But we are trending pretty steadily upwards. So I think we're going to be continuing that trend. Just from what I'm seeing out there, there's a lot of buyers coming off the sidelines. There's a pent-up demand from FIFA. And so we're starting to see more inventory, more sales. Inventory is already high, but we're starting to see more buyers out there, which is what we need for things to move. So that's a lot of information, guys. I hope that all makes sense. I think that the back half of 2026 is going to get really busy. This is obviously just my crystal ball guess here, but based on what I'm seeing out there and the conversations I've had with people, and this is definitely debatable, but I think it's going to pick up. I'm always an optimist. Yeah, we'll see. Watch this space and let's see what happens over the next few months. If you guys have any questions, again, reach out to me. If you want me to do a specific video on something, please reach out to me. And I hope to see you soon, guys. Take care and enjoy the rest of your summer. Take care. Bye-bye.